In exactly 2 years from now, the fundamental map of Indian political power is going to be completely redrawn. Looking at this fact-check document outlining Articles 81 and 82 of the Constitution, the rule is strict. Parliamentary seats must be reallocated based on the latest census data. This reallocation process was deliberately frozen twice, first in 1976 and again in 2001. Those freezes expire in 2026. Because the clock on those freezes has run out, updating the parliamentary map is no longer a political choice. It is a constitutional inevitability. This deadline has triggered a massive public anxiety. Southern states like Tamil Nadu successfully curbed their population growth, while northern states expanded rapidly. If standard census rules are applied today, Tamil Nadu is projected to lose heavily, dropping from 39 parliamentary seats down to just 31. That math feeds a widespread narrative that the central government is deliberately designing this process to strip power away from the South and reward the North. To address this exact concern, the central government introduced a specific legislative amendment. The fate of that bill reveals how the state arrived at its current trajectory. To bypass the population penalty, the central government proposed the Delimitation Amendment Act. Instead of taking seats from one state to give to another, the bill relied on a mathematical solution, universally increasing every state's representation by a flat 50%. This animated model shows exactly how that works. You can see the current 543 parliamentary seats expanding outward to accommodate roughly 850 members, keeping all regional groupings intact. By expanding the size of the total pie, the amendment mathematically guaranteed no state would suffer a reduction in its absolute number of representatives. Let's look at exactly how this would have impacted Tamil Nadu. If we pull up the data table from the fact-check report, focus on the first two columns, comparing current seats to the proposed amendment. Under this bill, Tamil Nadu's representation doesn't shrink. It surges from 39 to nearly 60 seats. But the most critical metric is right below that. Panning down to the percentage row, you can see Tamil Nadu's overall share of power in the national parliament actually increases slightly, from 7.18% to 7.23%. This massive expansion of total seats was also the required legal mechanism to implement the 33% women's reservation bill under Article 334A. When you look at the mechanics, this amendment was a highly engineered protective shield designed specifically to preserve Southern political equity. Because this was a constitutional amendment, passing that protective shield required a 2/3 majority in Parliament. The amendment failed entirely. And it failed because regional parties, specifically including the DMK, actively opposed and voted against it. Maintaining political optics and opposing the central government took precedence over passing a mathematically beneficial safeguard for their own voters. The safeguard met its end through a veto cast by the regional leadership responsible for the state's representation. With the protective amendment dead, the default pure population rules of Articles 81 and 82 will automatically trigger in 2026. This chart maps out the inescapable reality. The line holds steady at the current 7.18% power share and projects slightly upward to where it would have gone under the amendment. Instead, it plummets down to a hard reality of just 5.7%. The failed vote has turned the loss of these 8 seats into a locked-in mathematical outcome. The tragedy of the 2026 delimitation is a self-inflicted wound, proving how partisan politics can blind leaders to pragmatic survival. We want to hear from you down in the comments. When does the responsibility to protect a state's future outweigh the urge to play opposition politics? Let us know what you think.